flight. Well, hello there. My name is Sofia and I help sensitive people to write and create awe-striking things. I'm here today to help you to learn a few things on your particular journey. Today's video is called the Siren'S Call, our day one of this little series, and our topic is to look at the distractions that take you off course on your goals to write a book, to grow a business, and to expand your creativity in all the projects that you have. How do you know what's important to do now and what to do later? And is that a distraction? Is that procrastination? Or is that your intuition? How do you know the difference? So this is all about helping you to know what to do next. So that way you are perfectly aligned to create from your most powerful center, from all your power. And I talk about the psychic mermaid inside of you that is the creatrix of all these things that you want to create and can just manifest them like instantly, like just creating awesomeness here and here and here. And there's no grinding, there's no churning over things like hating your life. You know, like this is about being in a state where you actually enjoy what you're doing. And if you want to, you can make money in a more delightful way, as well as learning how to create rapidly in any outlet that you have. So that's what my life's work is really about, and I want to help you to balance being a multi-passionate creator, know how to face the ups and downs of creativity, and make progress even if you don't want to follow the rules, like focusing on only one thing or whatever else they're telling you you have to do. If that doesn't feel right for you, there's probably another way to do it. So, all right, let's get going here. So I'm going to just take a minute to have this beautiful little picture of a woman in the water. And for years, I would always have coaches or classes from all over the world to help me to be more productive and help me to achieve my goals, because it was really important to me for so much of my life. Like, I'm like a doer. I'm like the girl who was speed walking in the hallway as a kid. And, I think that deep down I was maybe hoping that if I did enough, I would feel enough inside of myself, that there was something I didn't realize I was correcting by going and going and going and going. And I would find that I was never really achieving a sense of ease, a sense of completion, a sense of pride. There was just always more to do. It was like a never-ending line. And then I think at some point I kind of maybe sussed this out or remembered, and I started to look at my goals differently. So when people would say to me, imagine yourself at the end of your goals, what are you? I would just get this picture, which I kind of had already lived, where I was in the ocean and I was in like my bikini or whatever, and I was just feeling the waves. I was just by myself and looking at all the nature around me. Like, it was a very empty beach, just me and the water, looking up at like maybe a little hint of the moon in the sky, because sometimes you can see it even though it's daytime, and just feeling like really at peace. And I knew that somewhere around the world there was somebody opening one of my videos and watching it and getting some insight about her life, because I had made it specifically for her. Even though I had never met her, I had used my intuition to give her some really deep messages, and I just knew that she was opening it right at that time and that it was spot on, like so many people had told me my readings are. And I just felt so freaking psychic and like good about myself, and like I had made it, like I had completed something, and it wasn't really about the money, because I think it was probably like $50 or something. But it was just like feeling like I found my place in the universe, feeling like I was home. So that's why like the words like psychic mermaid creatrix for me are so powerful and meaningful that I'm getting choked up talking about it because it is really special to me. And so I'm bringing this energy of the mermaid forward in our conversations and these videos because I know that some people are going to get it and some people are going to feel like she gets me. And if you're really turned off by mermaids, obviously you're probably going to find something else to do, and that's okay. But I just had to put that out there because maybe you feel a similar kind of pull to the water. Maybe you also love being in nature. Maybe you've also dealt with some things that made you feel like you weren't good enough and you have to just keep producing. And you've experienced how it can be really stressful to try to write and create. Like there's a lot of pressure on you. And maybe there's a little hint of that, like a sense of not being quite complete inside unless you do this amazing thing. And so I want to bring in the possibility that there's another way to do it. There's another way you can be, and you can find a satisfaction in the present. And it doesn't need to be at the end of the rainbow when you're all done everything. So welcome to my space where you are totally complete and enough as you are, where you are allowed to enjoy the ride, and I hope that you do whatever you need to do for yourself. So my big topic today is the Siren's call. And if you've ever studied mythology, then maybe you know that the siren is, I believe, from Greek mythology. She was a mermaid, and there would be sirens in the ocean who would sing enchanting, enticing music to sailors when they came by in their ships. And if the sailors listened to it, if they heard the sounds of the song, they would be compelled to just like walk right off the boat into the ocean and would ultimately die. Pretty intense, right? So people started to wear wax in their ear to protect them. So the siren for you here, although I love mermaids, in this case the siren's a little bit of a villain. This is where things are tricky. I truly believe that if you follow your intuition, you'll always know what to do next. And not only do I like to help people with my intuition, really my biggest passion is to empower other people to be that psychic in their own life, to be able to know what to do next and what the right time to do something is. Because it's not about doing all of the things, it's about doing the right things at the right time. Because you could sit and do something on your to-do list, let's say like write an email. You could spend 5 hours on that one email if you sit and do it Monday morning. But if you were to go about, do some other practices, do some other things that got you into alignment with that Psychic Mermaid creatrix energy flow of inspiration, that thing could be done in 15 minutes. And you could have like taken a bath, taken a walk, done some self-care, watched TV. You could have done a bunch of stuff in that 5 hours that would have been really fun and still get the same result, basically, just by doing it at a different time. I know this because I've been paid like a bunch of money to write for people in the past. Again, my favorite thing though is really helping other people to do it for themselves. So that's why I'm here. I want to give you the tricks that I've learned from working on $10,000 marketing launches, writing emails, videos, sales pages, all kinds of stuff, and working on ghostwriting projects, writing books for other people, as well as working on my own books, and I'm also a singer-songwriter. So you can really apply these things to like pretty much any kind of creative outlet you have, and if you are multi-passionate, I feel you. And really we all are kind of, I think, multi-passionate. I mean, most people in life are doing multiple things. You're walking and you're talking, you're being and you're doing, you got friendships, but you also have work, you got a relationship, but you also need time for yourself, like we're all like half one thing and half another thing. Which means that there's always going to be a tug and a pull between things in your life. There's always going to be a sense of like, oh, I gotta work, or oh, this person's calling me, or like, hey, I really should do that thing, or like, eh. And especially with modern technology, there's so much of this, like, options to do something else. And some of those things are really enticing, like a siren's call that will just suck you in. And before you know it, you've gone down a rabbit hole on Facebook for 10 hours or something. You know, if you add up all the time in a week that you spent on it, how much time is that? So that's just like an easy dig. Everybody likes to make a dig at Facebook, right? But I also think it's okay to go down the rabbit hole sometimes and give yourself a treat. So how do you know which to do? How do you know what's a distraction and what's procrastination and what's like filling your well so that you have creative material and energy and zest for life to do awesome things? What's a distraction and what's like necessary for the process of creativity? And just a sidebar, if you're not on, I'm hoping that maybe you've had a little experience in your life where you've had that thing that I'm talking about, where you've gone and done something off script, off on your own, and had an inspirational moment where you weren't just sitting in a chair grinding, trying to write, trying to create, trying to think, trying to analyze. And if you haven't, then maybe this is going to blow your mind, and I've already just like lost you. So let me just grab you back. But my idea is that I used to sit at my desk and go online and like try to do all these things to grow my business. And then one day I decided to do something nutty. I decided to sit down and write a letter to my business and ask it what to do, as if it knew, as if there's some intelligence in this universe that could guide me somewhere, because I wasn't really making any progress. I was working 50 hours a week doing something, I don't know what, and I wasn't making any money. And I was doing things I saw other people do, that other people were telling me to do. It just wasn't clicking. And I wasn't making a whole lot of progress on my writing either, because I was spending all this time trying to grow my business. But I thought I had to grow my business so I have money, and then I could write, but it just never seemed to really balance out. Like, not enough to really feel satisfied. So one day I decided to write to my business and ask it what to do. And it said, go on a walk. And I said, you know what? It's kind of like I'm like an assistant to someone, and they're the boss, and the boss just told me to go on a walk. So I decided to take that assignment, do my job, go do my walk, and that helped me to slow down. It helped me to slow down. Like I said, I have this pattern of walking fast through my life. And maybe that's me running away from a feeling of not being good enough, trying to fix something inside with things outside. And it's really not coming from the right energy. It's really coming from, honestly, a broken place. It's not going to fix it. I don't even need fixing. That's the answer, right? All of this is extraneous crap that doesn't really have to do with me and my value. I am valuable already. That's the place that you want to create from. You don't want to create from a place of lack. That's a distraction. Anything that's coming from a place of lack in yourself, that's a distraction. That's not good. So anyway, those walks became a habit. I started to have a practice of writing to my business, of really understanding that sometimes I can get distracted. The things that seem really logical and really linear and really like what everyone else is doing or what people say to do, sometimes it's the wrong thing to do. It sometimes is one way to do it, but it doesn't mean it's your way to do it. And it could just be bad timing. You're not in the right headspace. You have other needs you need to go fill. It could be a way that you're kind of continuing a pattern. Like I was just continuing this pattern of running around. And I need to take a breath and recenter and get my energy more in line with where I'm trying to go, which is that, for me, mermaid creatrix energy. And from that place, I kept making little adjustments, little moves. And I've done so many things since then. I've written my own book and started playing music and started this amazing mermaid theme course all these things, all of the things I've mentioned. You know, it didn't come from me just sitting behind the computer and doing everything everybody else did. I had to learn tools to tap into my intuition, to get outside of the box, get outside of the distractions, and move from a totally different energy. And really, if you look at it, everything in your life could be a distraction, or it could be the most genius thing to do. It really just depends on the moment, it depends on the person, and the one that ultimately needs to decide that is you. You know, like, I could tell you, hey, my intuition says, like, it's time for you to write a book. But if you're not feeling like you want to do that, it may not be the right time. You know, maybe you need to go do a few other things first. Or, as we'll talk on the next video, maybe there's a fear that is keeping you back. So, distractions. In sum, you need to keep an open mind about what you are looking at. All of the different possible things that you are considering may be a distraction. Although something might be what people normally consider to be focused work activities and trying to be on task, sometimes that can be a distraction. And other things people don't think of as work, like walking around, journaling, taking a bath, going outside, etc. Sometimes those things are actually very productive and the perfect thing to do next to create something awe-striking or to make faster progress on a project. So don't be closed-minded, keep an open mind. And it also goes the other way, of course. So you really need to be open-minded and consider that anything can be a distraction. So catch yourself if you are dismissing your urge to do things that feel good and automatically assuming that that's a distraction. Because sometimes it's exactly what you need to do next. Finding the difference between these things is going to be something that you are going to need to navigate your entire journey. Writing, creating, growing a business, all of this is going to be part of your everyday. That's the question. You know, what do I do next? What thing is going to put me in the zone? What thing is the most aligned next step? And all options are on the table. It's just about what is right for you and the thing you are working on and the place you are and your dream, your vision of where you're going. So if you want to learn all about my tools to help you to get deeply in touch with your intuition and the spirit of what you are creating so that you always know what to do next, I've got 7 weeks of amazing online tools, videos, mermaid magic, all kinds of good stuff to help you to always know what to do next, because you can hear your intuition and trust it. That is going to be there for you forever to watch in the Psychic Mermaid Creatrix course. And if you're signing up this first week that we're putting it on sale in 2021, if you sign up by July 23rd, you get a free half-an-hour call from me. You can get my intuitive assessment of what you're doing and working on and what your next step is and what you can do next to step into the power of what you are creating so that it happens easily and effortlessly and it's more fun to make money or create things in an easy, flowing, rapid way. And you also get 3 Zoom calls with your fellow mermaidians, and we can build the energy together. You can get even more support through the 7 weeks together. So that's all included in this month's launch, this week's launch. So if you go ahead and go to the link on the page, you can find out more about this and get all signed up to get the best good stuff. And I'll be seeing you in the next video. We're going to go even deeper into the idea of what is your purpose and how do you approach it when maybe there are some more deeply set things under the surface that are blocking you from being successful as a multi-passionate creator, entrepreneur, writer, what have you. So stay tuned for that. See you soon. the time.